everybody, and welcome back to my Cryptic fortune teller tutorial. So to start this off, I've already done my face and I've primed my eyes with the Painterly Paint Pot from MAC and set that just with a white matte powder. The first eyeshadow I'm taking is Sepia from Lorac and using that to start carving out my crease area. And I'm layering this color over and over until I'm happy with the way it looks. I make sure to pull it all the way to the inner corner, just along the bridge of the nose, and I'm also extending the shadow past the end of the brow. Next, I'm taking the shade Poppy from Makeup Geek and using my finger to apply that to the lid. I first use my finger because I like the way that it applies, very opaque. So I'm adding that to the center and outer corner of the lid, and then I'm going to take a clean blending brush and blend that out to soften out the color and make sure that the edges are seamlessly blended. Next, I'm taking the shade Curfew from Makeup Geek and applying that to the outer corner of the lid. I am going to make this quite a bold color, so I'm layering it until I'm happy with it. I'm making sure to extend the color quite far out. It's also being blended into the lower lash line quite low and also into the crease of the eye. As you can see, I fill up most of the space around my eye with this color. I want it to be super dramatic and I want all the colors to be very rich to kind of get that cryptic gypsy fortune teller type of look. So I'm layering this up around the outer corner, and then I'm going to take that same color and apply it to the inner corners of the eye. So I'm taking it and tracing the bridge of my nose and bringing that up towards the brow bone and shading that in. So the darkest part should be right along the bridge of the nose leading to the brow, and then I'm blending out from there without adding any more product to kind of get that fade and ombre, creating a bit of a shadow there. I'm then going in with Pop Culture by Makeup Geek and using this as a highlighting shade. I'm applying that to the inner corner of the eye where we haven't applied any color yet. I'm also taking it on the same portion of the eye but on the lower lash line. Always bringing those colors quite low. And just packing it on until I have quite a good vibrancy to the color. It's a beautiful shade with a bit of shimmer in it, so it really stands out amongst the other warm tones. And then just going over it with a clean blending brush to make sure all the colors are seamless. I'm now taking Melon Pigment from MAC and using my finger to press that onto the center of the lid where we applied that poppy color previously. The next color I'm taking is Drama Queen by Makeup Geek, and this, as self-proclaimed, is going to add a lot of drama to this look. This is how I'm adding most of the definition and shading to the eye, and I feel like it really brought everything together. So I'm buffing that color into the corner of the eye and along the lower lash line wherever that purple was, and then taking a bit of that Melon Pigment and putting it underneath the center of the lower lash line and then dragging it down towards the cheek. Next, I'm just filling in my brows. For this look, I have decided to fill in my brow much thicker than I usually do. I also tried to make them shaped a bit straighter versus having a nice curve along my arch. I made the arch a little bit flatter and straighter. So I'm making the brow a lot more fluffy. I'm making sure to drag my eyebrow brush upwards along the front to give that bushiness to the brow, and I'm making them quite bold and thick. Next, I'm taking the shade Camel from Lorac and buffing that all along the outer skirts of the eye makeup, as well as using it to blend out the inner portion. This is kind of the contour or shadow shade that we will be using instead of a neutral contour as normally would. I wanted this tutorial to kind of be a little bit different. I didn't want it to have the same colors as a normal skull tutorial or a normal face contour, so I decided to go with warmer tones, and I think I it came out really, really good. I was really happy with it. So that's what I'm starting to do. I'm starting to carve out the face. So I'm starting by applying it all over the outer portions of the eye and then using that color to kind of add some definition along the bridge of the nose. I'm also applying it to the front of the brow to give that furrowed brow look. Next, I'm starting to trace out where I want my teeth to go on my face. I'm using a white eyeliner pencil because I find it's the easiest to kind of work with when you're sketching out placement. It's really easy to wipe away, and once you put color over it, it pretty much disappears. So the color that I'm using for the shadow of the hollows of the cheek is Sepia from Lorac. This is, I find, the perfect color for this look that I'm going for. It's super pigmented, which is amazing, and they're so easy to blend out. It's some of my favorite shadows. So I'm taking a flat shading brush and using that to carve out the cheekbone area. Once I've deposited most of the product along the sharpest point, the highest point of that cheekbone area, I blend down to create that ombre. I then do the same thing with the temples or along the front of the forehead to create that sunken in look. Always keeping in mind that the darkest part of this shade should always be around the edges. That's how you get that sunken in effect, where the edges should be the darkest and then it should fade out and get lighter and lighter as it moves away from the edge. After I've done this, I take the same shade and I start adding a bit of a contour to where I applied the color at the beginning of the brow. I'm just continuing to add definition along the face where I need it. I did also apply this underneath the chin, or underneath the bottom lip actually, and top of the chin, and blended it downwards, again to kind of exaggerate that sunken in effect and put that color all over the face. Now for the actual grin itself, I'm starting by drawing this straight line going from the outer corner of my mouth out into the cheek area where I want that grin to extend to. And then I just kind of connect the two around the bottom of the chin to see where I want the teeth to end. And then I just started filling it in to start creating the teeth. So for the teeth, I used the Milk pencil by NYX and a very small concealer brush from Real Techniques. And I love using this product for teeth. I always do. It's the first product I ever tried, and it's the best one I've ever tried. It's just so easy to work with. Teeth are so easy. All you have to do is fill that brush with a bit of that NYX pencil, place it onto the face, and drag away slowly, releasing pressure so that it's the lightest when you are at the end of the teeth. And that gives you that off teardrop shape that your teeth typically have. They don't have to all be perfectly the same. No teeth are, and to be honest, the creepier the better. And I think that having different shapes makes it a bit more realistic and a bit more creepy. So to add definition, instead of using a pitch black shadow, I'm using that sepia color again. As I said, this is going to be that kind of contour shade that you would typically see in a skull look. So I'm taking that in between all of the teeth, and this is what gives it that definition and really makes them stand out. I also used this shade to drag along the line that we made through the center. That's where our two teeth part. That's where you want it to be the deepest, so I did add a few layers to that, and I also added a small layer of black shadow along that line as well. Now I'm taking Gold Digger from Makeup Geek and applying that over the MAC pigment that we applied along the cheekbones. I just wanted this to be a lot more bright and a lot more evident, so I was trying to layer products and get the look that I was going for. So I applied my winged liner and my fake lashes, and I just wanted more from it, so I applied the Lit Glitter called Mr. T. It's size number 3, and this was exactly what I was looking for. So I took that and dragged that down the cheeks and followed that tracing, and then I also applied some on the lid itself, and it made the biggest difference. And then I even liked it so much I took it between some of the teeth to add a little bit more of a shine. After this, that was it, and that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you have a happy Halloween, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.